propaganda. I know.
Okay. First off, congratulations, Coach Edsel and the Maryland team on a good victory. Difficult loss for us. Chance to reflect coming off the field for a couple minutes. It's a game of turnovers. We know that. We know that that's the formula. You have to win the turnover ratio, and you have to take care of your protection in the kicking game. Usually when you rush for 290 yards more, you got a shot to win. But, I look back at it, and those fleeting glimpses and opportunities that we didn't come down with the ball are big difference makers. I never felt like we gave ourselves a push in the momentum throughout the course of the game to just get on track. I thought the defense came out in the second half and hung in there, kept fighting. Almost had a pitch to shutout in the second half, minus the fumble and the points on the field goal. But so I was pleased with that. Disappointed in the loss. Again, it comes down to opportunity for interception. They pull it out of our hands. They get a play. Opportunity for interception hits us in the gut. We drop it. There's two chances for momentum pushes, and we didn't work it. We understand the formula that works, and that is win the turnover ratio by at least +1 by the end of the game. Rush the ball for 50 yards or more than the opponent, and protect in the kicking game, or don't give up a big play. And two of those areas we came up short, and that's why we lost the game. So with that, any questions? Sure. None? Great. You guys have a good night.
Scott, in addition to all that, the two red zone opportunities late in the second quarter, do you think those were game changers coming away with?
Well, I think every drive has an opportunity to be a game changer, you know what I mean? But coming up short and having some holding penalties, they really knocked us back and put us in a tough situation. Even still, before halftime, we could have cut that thing down with a field goal and had a little bit of a feeling coming into the locker room that, hey, a little momentum. It's such a game of momentum. And then we missed the field goal there, and that was disappointing. But we kept fighting. I thought the kids came out and continued to play hard, but we didn't play smart. And we did not take care of the almighty football. And when you don't do that, you lose games.
Coach, you had almost 600 yards and just the 2 touchdowns. Finishing drives, obviously, was a problem. Why do you think that was?
Because we didn't finish getting the ball over the goal line.
Coach, any update on Ashton Broyle?
Not yet. We'll know a few things with some of those guys, hopefully in a few hours when we get him checked out good. But he's got a lower leg injury there, so we'll see where he is. Banged up a little bit today. Steven?
You mentioned there was a few guys. Is there anyone else you're worried about injury-wise?
Just give me some time on that, okay?
Hey, Coach. Third down was a bit of an issue for you guys, particularly in the second half, especially in the third quarter when it seemed that every drive would stall out somewhere around the 40-yard line. And you had a 4th and 1 at one point, elected to punt. And it just seemed like there wasn't enough push to get over the line.
We moved the chains on a couple of those third downs, and we penalized ourselves. And, we had momentum. Hey, great play, holding. Great play, face mask. So then when it came down to the one around the 50-yard line and there's a decision to be made, I decided to kick it because I knew our defense would stop them, which they did. And then we didn't come back and make the move you have to. So difficult situation there. You don't want to break your back in a situation where the defense was playing well, was playing shutout football in the second half. I felt confident staying with that plan there. We had some opportunities and crossed them up. Everybody's cheering, including Coach Shafer, and then all of a sudden that flag comes out. And, that's the biggest thing. When you look at it, if you were to ask me the most disappointing thing in the game, it would be, we had holding, chop holding. One was a defensive holding down the field, I guess. Face mask, and then Coach Shafer being had, because we didn't get the one call, but I'm sure he made the right call. We'll go see the film. So we're just going to bounce back. We're playing one of the best teams in America in Notre Dame coming up at MetLife. They've had a week off to prepare for us. So it'll be a great opportunity for our kids to really bounce back and go in there with some firepower and see who we are and continue to try to grow each week. Try to do a better job controlling the things that we can control. That would be penalties, pre-snap penalties, and discipline with our hand placement. And then try to work hard to continue to push to get those turnovers. And we've been good so far this year, not giving them up until today. And obviously those were costly today. So.
Can you just talk about how your team played, you thought, coming out of last week? There's a lot of confidence, a lot of expectations for this game.
Yeah, well, I mean, we didn't get it done. We lost the game, obviously, but, you know, we moved the ball well. The offense, I liked what we did on offense. Defensively, early, gave up 2 plays, and then all of a sudden you're playing on your heels a little bit, and you can't give up those 2 big plays. It's as simple as that. And we rebounded, but not enough. A little too late there. We couldn't come up with that push, that momentum push that you need to. Simple as that, Mark. You know, simple as that. You know. Yep.
Hey, Coach, I know you weren't looking ahead to Notre Dame, but you mentioned Notre Dame just a second ago. Was this game even more disappointing considering what next week could have been national stage?
If you overthink it, but, you know, life's too short to overthink it. You know what I mean? No, that's not how we operate. If you did, you drive yourself nuts. You guys drive us nuts enough, so I'm not going to drive myself anywhere nuts.
Coach, you had a lot of drop passes and therefore relied on your running game a lot. Is that something that you're concerned about coming into the next game?
Yes, and a lot of passes that we made last week we didn't make this week, and I thought the placement of the football wasn't as good as it was last week. I thought Terrell was a couple inches, you know, I thought he was 12 to 18 inches off on a lot of those throws, whereas last week he was dead on. So he'll go back to work on it. We'll go back to work on it. We'll try to solidify, you know, being more consistent with those plays.
Coach, you know, you mentioned the opportunity last week. That's kind of the beauty of college football is that, you know, next week you have a chance to make a national statement. But I'm wondering, how long do you work on this game before you move on and focus on the opportunity next week?
Yeah, what we do is we'll go in on Sunday, tomorrow. The kids will kind of get a flush out, you know, stretch, yoga, that sort of thing, try to get their bodies back. And then we go hard to work on looking at the Maryland game first and foremost. We'll do that for, you know, an hour and a half or so, correct the mistakes, make sure everyone has extreme clarity on where we made our mistakes, where we had miscommunications, where our technique wasn't good. And then what we do is we have dinner. Then after dinner, we throw away the last game. For better or worse, we throw it away. And then we come back on target with the next opponent, obviously being Notre Dame. And then we'll go out and do a little walkthrough type practice. And then put them to bed, go to work heavily on Monday as a coaching staff, Sunday night and Monday. And then Tuesday, put the pads on and go back to work.
Coach, I know you don't want to look too far ahead, but what these next 3 weeks are with Notre Dame, but then also Florida State and Louisville, who's been ranked this year, through where you've been for these first 3 games, where do you think you guys are in terms of that challenge, which is the next 3 weeks?
The challenge is not the next 3 weeks. You're dead wrong. You're just missing the boat. I love you, but you're dead wrong. The challenge is, do we win Sunday? Do we do a better job Sunday than we've done on the other Sundays of this year? And then do we win on Monday? And then do we win on Tuesday, focusing just on the task at hand, and that's Notre Dame. And then whoever else we play after that, we'll get to them. That'll be coming.
Coach, we saw Cole Murphy make a long field goal and then come on for the final PAT. Are you considering a change at kicker, or did we already see it today?
Well, I think we'll take a good look at it and try to play the guy that we think gives us the best opportunity to win. It was nice to see Cole hit the long one and come back in. So we'll kind of cross that bridge when we get closer to game time. Can't answer it right now. No different than any other position. You know, we'll look around the room, talk amongst ourselves as coaches, and try to make the best decision for the team.
Hey, Scott, I know you haven't gotten to look at the film yet, but those 2 big plays Maryland had, the touchdown on the right sideline and the bubble to the running back.
Yeah.
What would you have done differently? What do you think the team could have done differently there?
Well, if we would have covered the deep ball better and been in position to pass break it up, that would have been the first thing. And then on the other one, we lost. We got cut. You know, our safety came up and he got cut. He's got to play with his hands better, work over the top, and at bare minimum force the ball back to his teammates. So, you know, defense is all about leverage, keeping the ball inside and in front, and getting off blocks. And in those 2 instances, we didn't stay on top on the one coverage, and then on the second one, we lost leverage. So, you know, it's more technique than a call in those situations, to be quite honest with you. We good?
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, great.